Hello everyone, welcome to Indie Parishad. My name is Sashi. This is a podcast dedicated exclusively to independent filmmakers from around the country. Today, my guest is Megha Chakraborty, who works in the film industry as a writer, DOP, and a producer. She hails from Chhattisgarh. One of her films, which she has written and shot and produced, called Apurna Viram, is currently streaming on MX Player. She has written and shot another film called Kali Pili, and she is an aspiring director. She wants to make a film in the next 5 years. That's her 5 year plan. So, welcome, Megha. What's up? How's life?
Thank you, Shashi. Life is okay. I mean, considering what's happening around us, like it's okay now.
Okay. So, how's life in Chhattisgarh? What's the scene with the pandemic there?
I mean, it's slower than Bombay. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
very slower than Bombay, and it's been raining here continuously for like a week now.
Yeah,
And
it's the same with Bombay.
okay, and I mean, COVID is like under control. I mean, the situation is of course better than Maharashtra and Bombay put together, but yeah, it's better now.
Okay, that's good. So tell me, like this combo that you have, a writer and a cinematographer. How did you decide upon doing these roles in the filmmaking process?
Okay, so I started as a photographer. So,
Mm-hmm.
and later, a friend of mine, he saw a few pictures that I clicked, and he was writing a script then. And he asked me that if I'll be willing to, shoot the film, if I'll be interested. And I just told him that, I've never done it before. And so I really don't know how to, go around it. So he told me that, listen, you just have to make a video. You already click pictures, so you just have to make a video. And he was making a film on this road journey, okay? And
Okay.
I love shooting streets. So, I used to go around in Bombay and shoot. So he was like, you just have to record what you are clicking, and it's not that difficult. So I said, okay, let's try. But that movie we couldn't make it because something happened during the process and we had to shut that film. But
Okay.
later I saw this film by Abbas Kiarostami 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Huh.
from there we actually I liked the concept so much and how easy the film was. So I told my friend that Paresh, that I think we can do something like this, like because it's very easy, and Bombay as a city, I think it might work. So he started writing the script, and that's how I wrote it. And because I was good with camera, and because it was a taxi film, so we also had to pick element from the streets and everywhere else. So it somehow it just happened, the writing and the shooting together.
Okay. Okay. So, have you trained yourself in filmmaking, or did that film was that film your film school?
That film was my film school.
Okay, that's nice. So, now that you have chosen the medium of cinema to tell stories,
Mhm.
why do you think that cinema would justify the stories that you want to say? Why not some other art form like dance, music, theater, painting, so many other things? Have you learned other things in your childhood, other art forms? Like as a Bengali, of course, people's
Yeah,
learn a lot of things. Yeah, tell me about
yeah,
that.
yeah. I did. I learned Robindra Sangeet for like 2 years. And then I also went for classical training because my mother was like, you also need to be classically strong. So I did that. And she also was forcing me to learn dance, but I was like so occupied with everything else. I was like, no, that's that. Eta hobe na. But then,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So after that, I was so busy in my curriculums, and I started like, 10th, 12th, then bachelor's, then postgrads. And after that, there was a time that I was working, and I thought that is this what I want to do? And
Hmm.
later, somehow, like, thank, there is some divine intervention, or I don't know how, but again, someone. So I used to click pictures, like, not very seriously, but just for, like, habitual or hobby case out there. So a friend of mine saw a few pictures. He again approached me that, do you want to learn this, or are you serious about it? And I said, I can give it a try. And from there, I shifted to clicking pictures. And uh, so I think the reason I believe that cinema includes uh, all this arts. I mean, you can sing in a film, you dance in a film, and uh, it's an umbrella thing, right? So everything comes under filmmaking. And more than that, I remember as a kid, when I used to watch a film, few film have really good sound score, very good music, but the film was okay. Some had really good, we remember the steps from few films. And I think that's the reason cinema just includes all other arts. And also it appeals to the masses. I come from a very small city, and here I cannot people are not very aware of, they don't read books, and they don't listen to a lot of serious classical music, but they listen to film music, and whatever they show in the film, they like it and they understand it better than literature or anything else.
Hmm. May I know the town you come from?
Bilaspur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, what's is there an independent filmmaking scene in Bilaspur, and what is it like?
So no, there's no independent film scene. I remember
Okay.
when I made my first film, Kali Pili, and I told my when it won the this festival award, and I told them that my film has been selected in this
Hmm.
festival. So they initially thought that it's a short movie or a documentary.
Hmm. Hmm.
They didn't making a feature, an independent feature by. So it never crossed their head that okay, I actually made a film.
Hmm.
Then I had to explain them that it's a movie, it's a cinema, it's a feature. It's not a short
Hmm.
film or a documentary or anything like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And uh, even now after Apun Viram, because it is streaming on MX Player, so the base is like okay. Now they understand that okay, now I'm making film, but still they don't understand that indie film is something that you can do. For them, it's still like uh,
Hmm.
because we don't have any song in Apun Viram. And the first question my father asked me is, why don't you guys had song in the film? Then I had to explain him that my movie didn't need a film, sorry, a song,
Song. Yeah.
and so we cannot put a unnecessary dance or any song because my script didn't needed a song for it to happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So people really don't know anything about indie cinema in my city.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you like? Would you want to spread some awareness by creating a club or an online screening or something like that?
I so after Apun Viram happened, I was approached by this. There were few youngsters in my city,
Okay.
and they make uh, small. I won't call them films, but videos
Hmm.
for YouTube.
Okay.
And so this guy called me and he's like, "Hey, ma'am, I want to make a film for
Hmm.
OTTs. So please guide me around the entire thing."
Yeah.
But then I asked him that, okay, what do you want to make a film about? Do you have an idea? For example, you need a base idea around which you can build a story, right?
Yeah.
So his idea was something like a very masala idea.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I want to, we will put this music yahan pe and we'll put this music wahan pe. We can shoot in this, we'll use drone. And I'm like, why do you need to use a drone in this? film because इसमें जरूरत नहीं है script में. So and later after, because I was trying to explain him also that you don't need to spend too much money, like making a film doesn't need much. You just have to have a good story and use your brain about how you want to shoot it. But he just couldn't understand it. So I would like to start something like that in
Yeah.
my city. But
I
again,
guess there's a lack of exposure. I mean, that
yeah,
is
yeah,
what usually happens. Yeah.
yes. Also, I think what happened is they watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of YouTube content is very masala, very Kabir
Yeah.
Singh type content. So what these people do, they put a very famous, like the most like the number one track, and then they make a video of a girl and a guy in a garden, and it's that kind of content they want to make. So for them to understand the entire indie side of the industry is actually quite difficult, to
Yes,
be
yes.
honest. Yeah.
It has to be self-driven.
Yes,
This is
yes.
what I feel.
Yeah.
You can't force someone into indie.
Right.
Yeah. So, would you like to share, like, why have you chosen indie? Why have you chosen the indie way?
So I think the first reason would be I was approached by someone who is also an indie filmmaker, and he started by making a very he worked in this Gujarati film. It's a very famous Gujarati film. I don't remember the name. Some vitamin C or something. Okay,
Okay.
and
I have no idea.
so
Sure.
yeah, so he approached me that saying that I have this script in my head and I want to shoot this. I'm just writing it and I want you to shoot it. And because it was for me, it was my first time that uh, in this film thingy. So I had no idea okay, how do you shoot and what cameras do you use, because I'm using a Canon 60D. So I'm like, can we shoot a film with this? Because I don't think you can. And he told me that you can if you want. It's not like you only have to use big cameras or Alexas or Red, or you can shoot a film with a phone also if you want to. It's not impossible. You need the passion or the brain for it or whatever. And I think from there, when we started to write our stories, somehow it just happened that we chose stories that didn't require much, you know, like elements. For example, okay, we can shoot in 2, 3 locations,
Yeah.
or we don't need very big famous spaces. We can use people like most of the actors in our film were actually theater artists from Bombay. Like all of them were, they do work in Gujarati theaters, and they were very happy to work in our film. So for me, it was also like, I'm helping these people to, get some screen time to actually work in a film. And they were very happy to work in our film. Like when the film was selected and when we were making the trailer, they were very happy, and it made me like, okay, this can be done. And with Apoon Viram, of course, Apoon Viram needed because we had some issues for Kali PD, like we were not getting a streaming platform because it's a very independent, very very low budget film. So people like we're not interested in streaming that. So
Okay.
with Apoon Viram, we were like, we need we have to up our game a little bit much. So there the actor, we chose an actor who was a little well known,
Okay.
but the way of shooting was still the same. We didn't change the technicalities of our film. We just thought that okay, we can use a famous person or someone who has resources or someone who can try and try to sell the film. And so I just think that independent cinema is more close to my own home, because I don't have a film background. So
This is where you learn. This is where you
yeah,
get to
this is,
learn.
yeah, exactly. So this is where I learn. It's a learning thing. So, and also helping other, newcomers to show their
True.
talent.
Sure,
The
sure,
same.
sure. So coming back to cinema as a whole, like how do you define cinema? What is it for you? Is it only entertainment? Do you want to like you want to be a filmmaker? You want to direct your own films? Is it going to be entertaining, only entertaining, or entertaining as well as a statement that you want to put out, or a documentation of a real event? What is it for you?
For me, I think cinema is uh, a way for me to express or to tell a story that I want to convey.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
that might include few real events, and it might include few entertainment elements also.
Hmm.
And I would really like to make a documentary someday because I am very inclined towards the documentary filmmaking side. And even we, like before Corona, we were having a discussion, me and my friend, that okay, we need to make a documentary. So we even had a proper plan, but then COVID happened and a lot of our plans kind of got postponed.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, cinema is a medium to uh, tell a story that I want to tell, and be it can be through a documentary also. It can be through uh, simple indie cinema. It can be through a masala film also. It depends on
Good. True.
what stories you want to convey.
True. Would you like to talk about uh, like some of the films which impacted you uh, in this journey? Like which directors you like the most, or which films
Uh, for
really
me, I
impress you a lot?
think
Yeah.
even before making films, when I was doing my postgraduate, I saw uh, David Lynch, Mulholland Drive,
Oh, nice.
and I loved the concept. I mean, I was so much in love with the film. I remember I recommended it to everyone. And at that time, I had no idea that, okay, one day I'll be making films.
But by the way, would you like which what did you do your postgraduate in?
I did my post graduation in social work.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, tell me about the films.
Yeah. So, David Lynch is one of my all time favorite director because uh, I think he he's someone, I've always looked on, and I'm like, he's making films that, like, most of his scripts are not even linear. And half of his film doesn't even make sense. But like, still it has certain thing that has always appealed to me. The way he shot the film, the actors he has worked with. And after I started working in the, in the industry, I was a lot inclined towards Satyajit Ray.
Oh, nice.
And also, I read a lot.
Okay.
So read.
That is something I think a lot of us miss out on. That's a really good practice to
So
read.
yeah, I read a lot. So I started with Satyajit Ray. Like, I saw his films, and I also researched a lot about his film, like how did he shoot it. Then there's lots of stories, like, like most of the actors were had other jobs and they used to shoot in Saturday and Sundays. And it really inspired me somewhere down the line, and also the simplicity of the film and the frames and everything. So
True.
he is still one of the major, influence on me. Second, I think, sorry, the third person might is Abbas Kiarostami, of course.
Oh,
And there's the simplicity. I mean, you can watch his film and you'll be so content. It feels so peaceful.
yeah. I'm going through an Abbas Kiarostami phase of watching
Okay.
movies. Yeah, watching all his movies, everything available. Yeah.
And uh, I just saw this film of his, the one where this kid has some other kid homework and he's running
Where
around.
is the friend's house?
Where the friends are.
Yeah.
And the theme is very simple, right? Like there's nothing much into it, but still it tries to tell you it gives you
Hmm.
a lot
I
about the cultural influence, what's happening in
yeah.
Iran, how the lifestyle is. It
True.
doesn't show the real issue, ki, this is we are poor or this is a poor country or look
Yeah.
issue. Even
Yeah.
without talking about them, it actually shows you that this is what happens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Abbas Kiarostami, then Richard Linklater.
I can see that before sunrise influence in your film.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
It's something that I remember when we were writing the script and we were like, okay, because the director Paresh and me, we both are like huge Richard Linklater fans, and we thought that we need to shoot this long conversation, walking conversation, and uh, find like it was a dream before Apun Viram, but in Apun Viram we were like we had to do this. We need to have a long conversation, walking shot,
Yeah.
and we finally did it. So he's a huge influence. I mean, his work from before series also. He has done few independent films. I was just watching one the other day. It's a
Okay.
it's like very random film, random characters. They are just talking in the film, and I was like, okay, this is also nice. So he's one of had major influence on me.
Lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah,
Uh, could you talk about like the distribution part of indie films which you have worked on? Like you said, Kali Pili still not getting a platform where you could
yeah,
release it.
yeah.
So how does it work? Like uh, how does an independent filmmaker find budget? How to approach producers? How to approach distributors? Could you take me through that?
So I think the the thing with independent film is like uh you the issues or the actual topics or the stories that we tell via independent films are not very masala type, right? It and there is not much happening in the film. There are long pauses, and so it's very difficult to explain someone that you're making an independent film, and first of all, to explain someone what independent film is very difficult. And so with Kali Pili, we uh, we were like, okay, this we had to make on our own, and the next part was to like which all festival we want to send the films to.
Yeah.
So, and this is the second problem that people barely know about international film festivals. I mean, they know about Oscar, they know about Cannes, they might know about Berlin and few others, but still, they really don't know a lot about international film festivals. And so we did this research that like where can we send it, because even sending the film requires a lot of work. You have to make DVDs, you have to send it to them, so it's again a long process.
Yeah.
So uh, you have to find and make film that will bring you some credibility, because you can make indie films and like just leave it, but you need to make film that will give you some credibility and at least get selected in few of the festivals, so that you can you have some support with you. And you need to find categories like where you want to
Yeah.
show your film. And uh, I think most importantly, I do think that you have to realize that when you make an indie film, it's not going to instantly get selected someplace, because all these festivals happens all the year around. And so making an independent film, you need to also know that, okay, is this for the commercial purpose or is this for the festival purpose? When we made Kali Pili, we knew that, okay, this is strictly for festivals. This is not a commercial film because it actually doesn't had any commercial element. There's not a love story. It's a very simple linear story of a taxi driver interacting with his passengers. But while we were making a Poon Viram, we were like, okay, we need to focus on the commercial aspects also. So we had a story which is a love story which has elements that might appeal to the classes. And so as an indie filmmaker, you have to decide that, okay, do you want to focus on the commercial aspects or do you want to focus on the festival aspect? And uh, side by side, keep looking on the streaming websites and see if you can find some place where you can stream your film. And so I think I saw this film in movie,
Okay.
Gamak Ghar.
Okay.
It's
It,
it's
it
an independent film.
it's got great reviews. I've heard.
Yeah. So it's a very simple film. There's nothing much into it, but uh, it's it got selected in a lot of festivals. And then there was The Disciple. So if your film is getting selected in, like, two, three major festivals, you will eventually find a streaming platform. One, like, yeah, it gets easier that way for independent films. If you don't have a very commercial script, and uh, so if it wins or gets few festival nomination or selections, you can actually also find streaming platforms side by side to show your film.
Very, very well said. True. So, could we talk a bit about Indian cinema now? Like, who are your favorite filmmakers, or what are some films that have impacted you, or impacted you recently? Some films which you loved recently.
I I come from a background where, like, I'm from a small town. So while growing up, it was all about watching masala films, David Dhawan
Yeah,
and
same.
Yash Chopra films. Yeah, and I enjoyed them.
Yeah, yeah,
I
totally.
thoroughly enjoyed them. Like, this is so nice. It was funny, comedy, everything is there in one
Yeah,
film. Drama, tragedy, everything is happening in
yeah.
those 2, 3 hours.
And
So it was fun.
ultimately, that those were the films because of which we actually started, and later
Yes.
on we discovered world cinema. But that's fine. So we should respect our roots where we
Yeah.
started from. Yeah,
And
tell me.
so a lot of people, they usually, think that if you're an indie filmmaker, you must be watching all this uh, film, international movies, Korean or French or Italian or Russian or whatnot. And I do watch them. It's not like I don't watch them, but that's different. Of course, I get inspired by them also. But if I can trace my interest in filmmaking or film, it's watching my own country movies. I saw all the film made by Karan Johar, and I loved them. I loved them. And while I was like, okay, started making films, then once you start making film, your entire perception of watching a film changes somehow. Then you start thinking technically. I'm like, okay, he must be using this, the lens is this, or location is this, color correction. So you start thinking like that somehow. It's a tight frame, it's an open frame, okay. And it was not like this before, but now I see a film and I'm also thinking technically, act wise. Acha, first act. I saw this film, Sandeep and Pinky Farar Ho Gaye. Farar Ho. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah. It's a breakthrough. Like
It
this is yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it followed the old three-act pattern for me. And I was like, it's been a long time someone made a three-act film. And for me, it was like this is a really good film, and we need more films like this.
Hmm. True, true. That's what I was like trying to say, that what I've seen is there are three kinds of filmmakers in India. Like the one who makes it only for the masses and wants to be a success at the box office,
Yeah,
and it's evident that they've played it safe and played on previous formulas that have worked. And the ones who, and then there are the filmmakers who make films on Indian stories, around Indian stories for only international audiences. They are not very concerned about if it's going to work out here in India. And then there are filmmakers who are trying to fuse the both, like a film like Sandeep and Pinky Farrar, which is trying to break the notions of Bollywood, but by taking Bollywood stars or by taking the Bollywood elements.
yeah,
And yeah, all three of them are interesting. That's the idea. That's how our cinema functions.
yeah.
So, what do you think is the identity of Indian cinema? If we look at it this way, that usually every country comes with their own identity of their cinema. Like if we say French cinema, we know that it's going to be of a certain kind,
Right.
and Iranian cinema would be having a certain narrative style. Of course, that is also a limitation, that everything looks almost similar. It's a taste, but it's quite very similar. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Indian cinema, we have so many things. We have our masala musicals, the song and dance numbers,
Mm-hmm.
which is not very internationally accepted every time. Like it can't be placed at par with an award-winning international film, because often what happens is the song would just break out suddenly amidst a serious conversation. A song would start like in a film. In most of the films, is
Right.
that is what happens.
Yeah.
And then we have the parallel cinema, which is influenced by Italian neorealism or whatever neorealistic movements around the
Yeah.
world. And now we have a mix of everything. Like people, some filmmaker would get influenced by the French New Wave and create something like that, like European cinema. Someone would get influenced by Iranian minimalism and would create something
Mm-hmm.
around that. And so, what do you think is the identity of Indian cinema? Is it going to be a mix, or we work towards creating a uniform identity of India?
Uh, I don't think we'll able to achieve this unified vision for India ever. I
Yeah.
mean, our culture is just so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uh, if you watch South Indian films, you watch North Indian films, or you watch Marathi films or Bengali films, they all have their own essence about them. Like, they're all so different from each other. Maybe, okay, they might have a similar way of telling a story, but still the cultural influences play a major role in our filmmaking. And like right now, a lot of filmmakers are focusing on this two-tiered town, like, Kanpur and Lucknow and all that places, like, typical small town stories are coming out. But even with those story, I think somewhere down the line they're again following the same masala puff. You're making a film on about a small story, but again you're putting so many unnecessary element in the film which are not even important for the story. And uh, so it's like it's very difficult for us to create our own one individual identity. I think even internationally we are known for our masala films.
Yeah.
Like uh, if you ask someone that uh, about Indian film, I think he'll talk about, he'll know more about
Yeah.
Karan Johar
Totally.
than any independent filmmaker. Even when in a lot of Indian films have gone and did good in festival area, but even then the directors and the makers didn't got the exposure they should have. And I think the second part is the exposure. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Indian films, because of this set identity, okay, Indian film hai, so it will have this colored, you know,
Song and dance.
dancing hoga, and there will be, a romantic storyline. And so we are kind of branded with the tag, labeled with it. And even in our own conditioning, I think we also think somewhere down the line ki Indian film is matlab all Karan Johar and uh,
Yeah,
yes, yeah. And it though it changed after Anurag Kashyap came. I
yeah.
mean, he made real stories, and then uh, people were like, okay, this is the story we want to see now. But again, we kind of follow a path, Acha, we will follow masala film, or we'll follow real film, or we'll follow one film. And uh, we want everything together, and we make a mixture of everything. And sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't.
Yeah.
And uh, that is what I think is a really sad part. And I think, as a viewer, I think because I make a film, I've been asked this a lot of time that, why do you make film? Or do you make film for yourself? Do you make film for the viewers? Or why do you make films? By make films to earn money. And then I have to tell them that I make film because I like making films. I enjoy making film. For me, it's like a process. It's for me, it's something that I love doing. I think I'm very passionate about it. And uh, people are like, okay, if you're passionate about it, then why don't you put a song in your film? You should put a song in your film, like if you're so passionate about, because if you put a song in your film, more people will see it. And again, it comes down to the the base that we have, the viewing base. And now again, we have so many OTTs platform, and so many more are coming. With with that, I think it's getting more difficult for us to pin down on one type of film that Indian cinema represent.
Yeah.
So I think for now I'll go with the masala film only, and a
Yeah.
lot of nationalism, ka tadka again. So I think that's what Indian films are right now at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting thing. Like also this masala song and dance film which we have, it evolved out of the theater we had, right? Like the the Nautanki theater style that we have of northern India, that actually ended up becoming Bollywood. So I think it's possible to make a film with song and dance, but also make it organic. Like there have been such films, like even with Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, the song
Mhm.
which comes out, it's just one song, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
one song, but it looks organic because it's a celebration happening in a party or somewhere where the song is played on speakers and they start dancing and it becomes the song of the film.
right,
Right. So that's an organic way of bringing the song and dance.
right.
And suppose we take the example of a film like Pyasa. So
Hmm.
if the protagonist is a poet, so it is logical for the protagonist to sing. A poet
Exactly. Yeah.
can sing, but uh, yeah, we might need to find out more ways where the song and dance could come in more organically, and then that that organic masala musical film of India could be made is what I feel. Like, of course, we are
Yes.
shying away from it. We are shying away from the masala film because why song and dances are put in a film is because this is how it is. ऐसा ही होता है, इसमें गाने तो डालने होते हैं. So even if the protagonist is a teacher in a school, so he would still be able to dance to very
Yeah.
complicated steps on the streets. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense that way, but maybe we could crack that very organic and more respected musical from
Uh,
Indian cinema. Yeah.
Also, Shashi, I think that what happens is, like, a lot of people watch Indian film or Hindi films because of the songs, or because of the film, or because of the music, or because of the dance.
Yeah, yeah, of
And
course.
so for a maker, it becomes sometimes like, if I'm making a film and I want my film to be seen by a lot of people, like masses. And even if I want to make an independent film or something which has serious issues, like, films with like some serious theme, but because of my viewers, I will have to put a song or a dancing song or something, because a lot of people watch films because of the music. And so it's a very integral part of our film, and it should be, I guess. I mean, even we plan to include a nukkad natak in Apun Viram by the college student, but that couldn't happen because of the COVID situation. Because of the pandemic, we had to, we couldn't do it, we couldn't shoot it. So I think a lot of other element could be part of our filmmaking, and uh, people are trying. I know that makers are trying, and that's great. A lot of inclusive films are being made now, with a lot of taboo issues, which were before, like, okay, we cannot make films on such people or such issues or such whatever. But now people are taking chances,
True,
and
true.
they are trying to bring stories from small towns, cities, and people, minorities, basically. So I think it's really good. I mean, I think the future is uh,
All about experiment.
yes, 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 it is.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, you said that like when you wanted to make Apun Viram, and you had this discussion that we should have some commercial elements, maybe take a commercial phase
Yeah.
because we'll be able to sell it.
Yeah.
How do you balance between doing such things, taking such calls, but not at the cost of losing your creativity?
Um, so I think for me, when we write our script, I think there itself we kind of understand that if this is going to be a commercial film, or is this going to be a typical festival oriented film. And uh, with Apun Viram, when we were writing the story, we knew that okay, this requires few commercial elements, and we need to have them in our film. Uh, but again, we had few restrictions, like we couldn't, put a song in the film because it was not that required. I mean, it was not essential in a film to have a song, though it's a love story. But we were like, okay, we don't need a song. Also, yeah, the second thing is language also sometimes plays an important role in deciding whether you want to, like, for example, Apun Viram is a Gujarati film, and we were told that there are very few such Gujarati films are being made, because most of them are very masala film, and there is an audience who want to see independent or a very simple Gujarati film.
I've seen one more
So
called Helaro, it
we
was very
thought that
good.
okay, we can. Yes, yes, Hillar. It, I think it won the national award also.
I'm
I
not aware
think
of
so.
that, but I like that film a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So, uh, so again, there are few stories that have been made in Gujarati film industry also. So I think this language also at times play an important role, whether you want to, sell it to someone, or you want to send the film to international circuits or festival circuits, or you find an OTT platform, because there are a lot of regional OTT platforms as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So again, it comes down to your script and the demand of the script, or where you want your. So for us, we needed a Poon Viram because we needed to, enter the OTT thing. We had Kali Pili, but Kali Pili is not on any OTT. So if we are selling our film to a producer, so he needs to understand that okay, have you made a film? And if we tell him that yes, Kali Piri is there, but then the next question will be, where can I watch it? And it's very natural for him to ask the question. But we don't have any OTT platform at that time, like, okay, Kali Pili is on this, so go and watch it. But with Apun Viram, it's like, okay, if someone asks me that, you have made a film, where can I see it? So I can be like, go to MX Player and you can watch my film there. So exposure is important, and more than focusing on the market or the producer or the finance aspects of the filmmaking, exposure is very important for any independent filmmaker. You need to make your film, and uh, there are OTT platforms. You need to find them. You need to approach them. You can email them, and a lot of time, you can get a call back, and if they like your film, it can go in MX Player or Hotstar or Z5. So, but again, you have to think that, uh, like, what your script needs, or what do you want? Do you want exposure, or do you want some? Because you can make a masala film also. You can approach. There are directors and producers who need masala script, and they're ready to, give you
Yeah,
finances for the same. So
they
again,
look
it
at it
comes
as a
up.
business. Yeah.
Yes. So as an individual, what do you want from your own work? It gets very individualistic and very personal at the same time. So for me, it was, I just wanted to make a film. For me, that was my thing. That, okay, I want to make a film, and I have to, uh, do it. So that was my only, uh, what should I say, kind of
Goal.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, goal. Okay, I have to finish a film that should go in few OTTs, that, and because I should get some exposure out of it as well, so that people might know, okay, Megha makes a film. Where can I watch it? You can watch it on MX Player. So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we have come towards the end. Do you have anything which I might not have asked or got missed out you want to mention about, you want to talk about?
Uh, I think we have pretty much covered uh, most of the important, aspects of independent filmmaking, I guess.
Okay, cool. So,
But
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you had something you wanted to say?
No, I just wanted, like, if to say that, uh, a lot of time, I think the main focus, while making a film, is the finance aspect, that, it should, uh, earn me something, or it should, be a sellout or whatever. But I think when you make films, I think that should be your, not be that shouldn't be your first priority. It should be your second or third, or like, uh, I think the first is to make a complete, full film, and then you have to, think about the finance part. And if you want to make a film, you can. It's not much. You need a good script. You don't need very fancy cameras, because a lot of time I've been asked this thing that, when we tell them how we made the film, they're like, how, like, it's ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? So you have to explain them that you can. You, like, there are, directors who have short films on, Apple 4S or 6S, and that has both been a commercial success and festival success. So you can do it. It's not that difficult that you need to use only big cameras, or you have to use big script or big location. You just need an honest story that you want to convey and be really passionate about it. So
Very
yeah,
true. Very true. And now that you're writing your own film, I guess you're writing your screenplay, you're trying to make your own film.
yeah,
So, like, it's very difficult to write, especially also when things are not very good, like around in the world in a pandemic situation. So,
yeah.
how do you keep yourself motivated to write? And how does reading come into play? Like, do you get to read every day? And how much do you read every day? How, like, what is it like?
So I follow a very, I won't say very strict routine, but a somewhat flexible routine.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah,
That's good.
I
Yeah.
get up early in the morning.
Huh.
I'm a runner. I've run marathons and everything. So I
Oh,
run.
lovely.
So running helps me a lot while I write because it helps me to focus on things. When I run, I think that okay, I need to write about this thing. So running helps me a lot, and I follow a routine. Like when I come back from my running, I dedicate at least 2 hours of my time that okay, I need to write something, even if it's not my script, but I need to write something. I also have a blog which I write sometime. It's so I write there, and because we have like multiple script we are working on. It's not only one, so we have one more script. It's an anthology script, so we have like 4 5 stories together. We want to make something like that because uh, it's trending now. Anthologies, you can make 4 5 films and put it under something. So we are working on writing an anthology now. So I just dedicate this 2 hours from maybe 9 to 11 or maybe 11 to 1. And at that time, I know that okay, I have to sit and I have to write something. I have to finish, even if it's 2 line or one paragraph or anything. I just follow that thing that okay, I have to write something every day, every day. It might not be worth like it might be something very shitty. It might not come in news, but that doesn't matter. I have to write it, and I read every day. I again dedicate at least an hour of my day into reading,
Hmm. That's
and
nice, yeah. That's very
yeah,
good.
it helps me to write because if I don't read, and a lot of time if I read something and a sudden idea clicks in my head that okay, I can use this, you know. So when we were talking initially about film as a medium, I think
Yeah.
every art is, I think, somewhere down the line interconnected.
True.
Reading, writing, filmmaking, photos, painting, singing, I think they're all interconnected and very dependent on each other. So I think, yeah, so I read every day and that's about it.
Yeah, that's very nice. I know like people have very different methods. Many people would say they wouldn't want to read. They don't want to read because it actually impacts their writing so much
Yeah.
that they might be very influenced by what they read. But
Mm.
it's good that you read because that's a thing which makes a difference. Because I don't know a lot of people who read. Not even me. I want to read, but I can't. I don't know. Don't get a lot of time. So I'm struggling to find time to read. And also, when you were talking about the writing bit that you write
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
and I think it's important. I just read a quote by Phoebe Waller-Bridge like 2 days back. It was
Okay.
trending on Instagram that you can't write good every day, but you should write every day because you can't edit a blank page. You can edit something
Yes,
shitty also. You write.
exactly. I mean, I kind of follow the same thing that you have to write every day. Even if it's not good, you can edit it and you can write something else. And it's not about writing good or bad. It's basically about writing. And later you can decide if it's good or bad. So you don't have to decide right now.
Even when you keep looking at the screen which has something at least which you've written before, you come up with new ideas, but looking at a blank screen is very difficult. So
Yes, yes.
the first step should be to get out of that phase, for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, we have come to the end, and thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you, and good luck with your screenplay and the film that you want to make and the anthology that you're working on and all the other projects that you're working on,
Oh,
and
yeah,
good luck
thank
with
you,
your running
Shashi.
also.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this platform to talk about independent films. And I hope it helps someone, I mean, down
Of
the line.
course. Of
So,
course.
yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The
Okay.
pleasure is mine.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye bye.